That's nice. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, good evening. I am Terri Wisdom, and this is Harlem Network News. And as many of you know, Harlem Network News started at the onset of COVID, and we are still here and truly consider ourselves an essential service, assuring that Harlem and the Harlems of the world are informed, engaged, called to action, and paid attention to for all of the needs that we have. It's very, very critical. And I would really just like to just start off today just with prayers and blessings. We know that today is the 9/11 day, the day that there was the World Trade Centers came down, the Pentagon came down, many lives were lost, and it really changed our lives forever, in terms of on these American shores. So we pray for all of the loss, and at the same time, we pray for change, an end to peace, a beginning for peace. And it all has to do with that Middle East area as we are looking at Israel and Gaza and the loss of lives and the holding of the hostages. There's a lot to take in. We also want to pray for the souls and spirits of our iconic James Earl Jones, as well as another iconic entertainer and, person involved in the community, Frankie Beverly. But today, we have with us a Harlem and Harlems of the world hero. And that is in the person of the chair of the African American Day Parade. And that is Imam Yusuf Hasaan. So if you would just say hello to Harlem, Harlems of the world, the whole world, and just share a little bit about who you are, whose you are, and what this journey has been as we begin the celebration. And we've already begun it because we had the press conference, but begin the celebration of the 55th year of the African American Day Parade. And that press conference was amazing at the Schomburg. And when I said Schomburg, I also just want to give a shout out and a happy 90th birthday to our poet laureate, and that is Sister Sonia Sanchez. So that Schomburg holds a lot of ground. So thank you, Imam Yusuf Hasaan. And if you could just tell us a little bit about this journey, your
Thank
journey.
you. Thank you, Terri, for having me. I just want you to know this is a great time of year for us as African Americans, especially here in Harlem and, as you say, the Harlems of the world. People have to realize that Harlem is our home. And this parade is a staple in this community for 55 years. And we want to make sure that this year we focus in on our community, understanding how important it is to get out to vote. So our theme is good leaders equals good government this year. And we have some esteemed leaders in our community who've been working on the front lines of taking care of us for generations and years. And we want to make sure we highlight them and show the world that we're still here and that Harlem is a place of great significance for not only here in Harlem nights, but also the world, the African American community. Everyone has a community, and it seems like New York City is the capital of parades.
Oh, yes.
And everyone actually have a parade in New York City. You have Little Italy have a parade. You have Chinatown have a parade. You have all these different areas that have great parades every year. But we have our African American Day Parade right here in Harlem, which is the home of the African American community in this society. So I'm honored to be with us, and continue to help celebrate this most momentous occasion, as it was founded in 1969 by some great leaders. The last
Okay.
of which I had an opportunity to meet and work with was Abraham Snyder,
All
and
right.
we're still continuing to carry on his legacy and the legacy of those who get in this parade. And our first parade was in 1969, and our theme were Africa's Gift to America. And our
Wow.
first Grand Marshal was the great Adam Clayton Powell Jr. and the great Shirley Chisholm. And so
How
today,
befitting.
after 55 years, now we'll be celebrating our political leaders once again. And this year we have a great array of grand marshals, including New York State Attorney General Letitia James, Speaker of the New York City Council, Adrian Adams,
Oh,
and,
wow.
and our beloved brother, Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado, as well as our well-known State Senator, Cordell Clare.
Oh, right.
And we have some great marshals this year, including New York City Council member, the newest one of our city council, our good brother, Yusuf Salam,
Mm-hmm.
as well as Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson and New York State Assembly member Stefani Zinnerman. Those are just a few of those that's going to be with us. And certainly we have our community honorary lifetime grand marshals of the African American Day Parade that will be with us. And that's the great Charles Rangels.
Hey.
And surely we're going to have Hazel Dukes out with us,
Oh, yes.
including Inez Dickens
All
and
right.
Cynthia Smith, and we hopefully the Reverend Al Sharpton. They are our
Mhm.
lifetime honorary grand marshals of the African American Day Parade.
Okay, well, I love it. And Harlem Network News, ever since our inception, we have been covering the African American Day Parade and just living all of my adult life and raising my children here in Harlem. I'm Terri Wisdom. This is Harlem Network News. We've always attended the parade, and it's always been uplifting. And I think this year in particular, it's very befitting that you were saying at the initial parade, Shirley Chisholm, who was the first Black woman running for president right out of Brooklyn. And, our great Harlem Congressman, Adam Clayton Powell, and Reverend Adam Clayton Powell Jr. So it's just very befitting in the political climate that we're in right now, with our VP Kamala Harris running for president, nominated by the Democratic committee, and with Governor Tim Walsh as her VP candidate. So we're right on time because we just finished with the debate last night. So it's definitely a time for our community to celebrate ourselves, celebrate our own, celebrate our accomplishments, and keep hope and faith alive for change and upliftment. I think it's very critical and very important. So how do you see the impact of the parade? What does the parade do in terms of social change or the upliftment of the people? What is the essence of the parade?
Well, the parade focuses on 5 areas that strengthens our community. And we want to keep that focus, education, health, culture, and certainly we want to make sure that political arena is involved with that. And we want to make sure that our community realize that we have to continue to struggle and fight to make sure that we get the best of our people and showcase the absolute best of them on this day, as well as commemorate our ancestors. We never want to forget what African Americans have contributed to this society and to the world. We are a special people from where we've come And so this parade helps lift the spirits of our people through all the struggles we continue to been through, from slavery to Jim Crowism to civil rights movement, and even to this day, where there's so much trauma in the community with gun violence and other things that our communities are faced with. And we want to have a special place, always have a special place for our seniors. Sometimes we forget
Okay.
what they've been going through all of their lives. And they'll sit in these apartment buildings, and people don't know the silent trauma that they'll continue to face with the killings of our young people and their grandchildren and other people in the community. So we have a special place for them at the African American Day Parade that you can stand, where they can sit under a tent, get something to eat, and feel pampered for that day, and then watch the fruit of their labor go past. All the doctors and the nurses and the social workers and all those people that they have raised in the community are still standing strong, including our police department and our fire department. You know, grandma and grandpa have really did some great upliftment and continue to hold the line on taking care of our community on some level. And another thing I like to see in this parade is very important is our children, the little ones. You know, they up in these apartment buildings once again, learning how to do the two-step. Their cousins
Okay.
and their uncles and friends trying to show them how to stay together and be with one another. And to see them come out on the Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard and do their little dance and step in front of their families and community, that is the biggest stage in the world for them. They might be tired in the end, but it's so happy to see them so tired because they've done something that they had an opportunity to showcase what they've learned in all of these up different things. And then we want to make sure they're protected and cared for as well.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. It certainly is critical, especially in these times, because it's very easy for people to feel disillusioned. There's inequities. There's just so much, even though we've come so far and it's 2024, for people of color, for Black people, we still have a long way to go. Certain things have rolled back, and we have got to really help them to roll forward. But if you could share, and I'm with Imam Yusuf Hasaan, who is the chair of the African American Day Parade. But if you would share, when is the parade? What do you have to do to come see the parade? Is there anything special? What time does it start? What are the expectations? Do folks need to bring their lawn chair? What happens at the parade? Because, Harlem Network News, we are always about knowledge is power. So we make the assumption that nobody knows about everything so that we make sure that they are prepared. So just share when the parade is and what to expect, and approximately the time the parade ends, and what does the mosaic of the parade look like? Because I know you said marshals, grand marshals, there'll be, I guess, some bands. And what does the African American Day Parade look like?
Well, this year, one of our largest parades, we have over 200 organizations already signed up. We
Wow.
have 35 floats already lined up for the parade. And we have a cross section of people from all over the country, from Mississippi to Chicago to LA, here in New York to Maryland. All the bands are coming in from the local communities and different groups. And so we expect a large parade, and it begins on Sunday, September the 15th at Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard at 111th Street. And it goes up to 137th Street.
Okay.
And we have a reviewing stand at 125th Street, where we do have a pre-parade show there starting at 10:30.
All
And
right.
and the parade is going to go up and participate in all those areas. But it's important for us to know that at the VIP tent, where we'll be first staging the area for the parade, we will have a ribbon cutting for our 55th anniversary there. And we'll have a second ribbon cutting at 125th Street. So people know the milestone of this parade. 55 years it's a beautiful thing after without any great cooperations money and big organizations supporting us on these levels, because this parade is free to our community. We doesn't pay people, we doesn't charge people to be in this parade. So we asking people to support us on some levels or another to make sure it continue to grow and go forward. That's what it's all about, going forward, and making sure that people know that the African American community is an important community in the mosaic of this society and this world. So we are grateful for the team that works with me to make sure that this happens. We can't do it alone, and it takes the entire community to support this. So we hope when people think about making some contributions, or they have to go to our website at AfricanAmericanDayParade.org and go to the donate button and donate to the parade. And we're also always looking for volunteers. Volunteers would make this parade happen. And we'll continue to do that. And something special this year we'll be doing is having a get involved literacy, health, and cultural event on the State Office Building Plaza, 125th Street, on the 14th, the day before the parade.
Oh, okay.
There's a purpose for that, so that we can make sure our children have some literacy book reading, some book giveaways, and
nice
giveaways for our children. And certainly we're going to have a health panel with physicians, well-known physicians in the community that will be on the health panel on the stage right in front of the state office.
That's a first. A health panel. I mean, I know we have events all through the summer and Harlem Week and all of that, but to actually have a panel of physicians right there on the plaza, on the stage at the Adam Clayton Powell State Office Building, that's amazing. Very innovative.
And we're going to focus this year on mental health, because we know that mental health has been an issue in our community that's been very elusive. And we want to make sure that we focus in on that, and people will have a chance to ask questions of this health panel, so they can get some direct answers in real time from these leaders in the health field. And then we'll have a cultural events there, and we're going to have the Black farmers going to be there with their fruits and vegetables.
All right.
State. We're going to have health screening there. We're going to have materials for job training and all those type of things set up on the plaza on this particular day. So it's going to be a great day on the 14th from 11 to 5 p.m. at the State Office Building Plaza. Come out and join us.
Okay, well, I'm Terri Wisdom. This is Harlem Network News, and I love the what I call the holistic approach. Though it's the parade, the day before you're including a lot of things, health professionals, Black farmers, people have to eat. That's a part of the healing, and eating healthy foods and good foods, and something for the children. So I think it's just very inspirational, and it's also what's really, really needed. Now, I have a question for you. Is this the first year in a very long time that the parade will be carried on our major television stations here in New York? If you could weigh in on that a bit. Thank you.
Yes. ABC Channel 7 will be live streaming the parade to all of its platforms, as well as PIX that been supporting us with the parade this year.
Okay.
And we have Harlem Network also going to be with us. With G. Keith Alexander.
Right.
He's going to be certainly live streaming it as well.
Wonderful.
So we're going to have a great day, and hopefully this parade get to the level where people recognize it on a national level, which is already a national parade. And certainly we want to keep this right here in Harlem. And people ask me a lot about why don't we not go down on Fifth Avenue, those places downtown, and I just let them know that, the news could come into Harlem if there's someone killed or shot or something bad happened. So why can't they come to Harlem to show what's good in our community? And I think we're getting to that point where people, they can't ignore it any longer about how important this parade is for the spirit, the upliftment of our people, for the spirit, and also for the culture that's still here in Harlem.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Because that is significant, that this parade has been going on 55 years and it's right here in the center of Harlem. And I just think it's also very interesting that though it hasn't been a parade that was broadcast nationally, and certainly independent media like a G. Keith Alexander, myself from Harlem Network News, we certainly have done our part from a media standpoint. Harlem News, all of the, grassroots, I would say, uh, publications and media. But even though the parade has not been on mainstream media, like, going national, like with the CNNs and, ABCs, people still have turned out, and it's almost like it's the voice. We call Harlem Network News the voice and the drumbeat of Harlem. But one of the things is that that drumbeat goes and people are lined up from little children to, as you said, you have the bandstand for the seniors. It's just amazing how everybody kind of knows they come out for it. And it is a time of upliftment, pride. You can almost feel the legacy coming up out of the streets. You can almost feel the ancestors, and that is the real greatness of the parade,
And
and
people can realize that this parade have never had any big incident of someone getting
right.
shot or
Mm-hmm.
killed in this parade. So they can't punish us with that. And we have integrity and respect for our community. We love our people. And that's why all of our team volunteers. We have day jobs as well, but we still make the time to make sure that this parade is put on every year with love and with dignity and with respect for the African American community.
Okay.
So it's a great day for me. I feel happy. I'm
Yeah.
tired, but I feel happy that we continue to do it.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. I know even some of the public officials have taken to doing like a little breakfast prior to the parade, which is interesting because, it's kind of like this parade is is it. But you all continue, do what you do, and it's just amazing. You make a way out of whatever way it is, and I don't want to say out of no way, because you make a way, and you've continued to make that way, and that's very, very critical. And I think it's a theme. I'm Terri Wisdom. We're going to wind down and just let Imam Yusuf Hasaan get back to the work. Let him get back to the work and get some rest and some nourishment, because indeed this takes a lot of faith. It takes a lot of action. It takes a lot of what I call the spirit of Shirley Chisholm. Getting your seat at the table, bringing a folding chair if that's what you need to do. But that's what I love about this parade. And like as Imam said, there haven't been incidents at this parade. It's been positive. It's been one of pride and something that should be celebrated around the country and around the world.
And
So,
it's a waiting game, though. This is what people have to understand. Everyone can't leave the blocks at the same time. All the
okay.
participants think that the parade starts at 12:30, so they come out thinking they're going to leave at 12:30. When,
Right.
a parade of this magnitude, it takes a while before we get everyone in the block. So we have to, as Harlemites and people in Harlem and this community, we have to be the host for other
Right.
people that come into Harlem. So we
Yes.
have to show patience. We have to show concern for them.
Mhm.
And we have to really be on our best behavior. And so sometimes a person come out and they're acting erratic. We have a team of members of our community that's a buffer between the police department and the community. And certainly we, the police department, have been great help with us with this parade. They have really been supportive of this parade. but we want to make sure that we be the front line of asking people how they're feeling, what they're thinking about, what they're doing. If
Mm-hmm.
we think they haven't had their medicine, we'll tell them to go home and take your medications and come
Okay.
back. And if you're hungry, we give you a little sandwich or something so that you can be at peace and know that this is your day. This is your parade. It's
Mm-hmm.
so hard on us sometimes because we don't have breakfast. We don't have time for a breakfast in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
The African American Day Parade really doesn't have a breakfast that
Right.
celebrate this parade. I mean, the
Yes.
political communities, they have a
Yes.
nice social thing that they do, but that's
Right. Yes.
on that's on that end. It's not on
Right.
the African
Yes.
American Day.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
wanted to make
It-
that kind of,
no, absolutely very clear, and I think what I was sharing is that the parade has been happening, but the community has done little, additions to the parade, but the parade stands as the parade. All of the workers, yourself, of course, at the top, though you're the chair, you're probably the hardest working of them all, and there's no job that's too big or too small for you to do. And that's what is something to be respected. And then it's also the fact that this continues, that this continues, that the parade actually has lasted 55 years, so this is very important, in terms of tradition, keeping the tradition, keeping the legacy. And then the other thing I know that you've done is included younger people on the team. I know you've got a great social media team, and some of the descendants of the original parade people are involved. So that in itself says that the parade will continue. Okay, the parade will continue.
that's the
So
plan.
okay, okay. So if you would just give us a closing word, words of encouragement. We know there's a lot going on in the world. We just are coming off the debate yesterday with VP Kamala Harris and former President Trump. So we got a lot to process here, but we're looking for change. We're looking for positive change. We're looking for equity for the Harlem community. We're looking to infuse media with, grassroots media, because media is a message. It tells our story. And that's why with Harlem Network News, we are not discouraged. We're tired, but we continue because we know that what we're doing is critical and important. And so
Yeah,
we continue. But we
yeah,
do need the community support. We do need finances to do what we did, what we do. We just coming back from the convention. I have someone write down at the Congressional Black Caucus. I'll be down there later in the week. So we really try to make sure that folks are informed and engaged and call to action. So final words, and we're going to
so
let you get to it.
that's why it's important for us to pay attention to this election year. We have Kamala Harris, and I think she's going to be a great president. And we need to really get the vote out for her as a community. And we need to also pay attention to what's happening, in my opinion, in the long run here in this large, in all of our inner cities, especially the city of New York. They're coming after our mayor, Eric Adams,
Mhm.
and so we have to really stand on the front line to keep our good leaders in place because that's where the good government comes in. And when you
Mhm.
see people are being attacked, that means they're doing a pretty decent job. And we might pay attention to how I think this state, they're trying to make this state a red state. Seems
Okay.
to me they're working on some of these type of things when they got so much influx of other people from around the world that's coming into Harlem. We're focusing on the immigrants from the southern border, but
Yes.
then we have to pay attention to the immigrants from on the airplanes and the
Mhm.
trains and the boats
Mhm.
that's coming in from
Mhm.
other parts of the world and where they are located and how they are voting and who are they supporting in these particular races for leadership in this country and this society. And so we need to pay attention to that. But above all, we need to love each other. We need to show unity and be with each other, support our businesses, support our community, support our schools, support our teachers. In the African American Day Parade, we have scholarship for young people to go to college.
Yes.
And we also have scholarship for teachers. We try to give them something every year so that we want them to go to the HBCU colleges and stuff like that.
All
So
right.
we can learn about our history and who we are and what we bring to this table through inventions and all the other things that our African American community have done. And we never want no one to write us out of that history and forget about it like it never existed. We want this parade to continue to highlight that. And we want our community to know that we're here and we're always going to support our community because we love our people.
Okay, well said, and well done. And you continue to do that job, which has been saying you continue to do your Black job. And Harlem Network News, we're continuing to do ours. And we thank you. We are Harlem Network News at gmail.com. You can reach us at 646-261-5397. You can make donations to Harlem Network News. You can Zelle us at harlemnetworknews at gmail.com. You can Cash App us, $ Harlem Network News, and we have a GoFundMe because the work is getting more. There's more work to do. And so we definitely need that economic support. And we look for a time where there's equity for all of our small businesses, our media, our parades. We built this country. So
Right.
I'm Terri Wisdom, and this is Harlem Network News. And thank you, Chairman of the African American Day Parade, Imam Yusuf Hasaan. And we'll see everybody on Sunday. Okay, 10:30, the bandstand show starts. The seniors will all be out there. And then we have different motorcades and floats and all of that. It's a very, very exciting time and a time of pride. Okay, a time of pride. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm glad this gives me hope and lifts me up. I appreciate it. Terri Wisdom, Harlem Network News. Thank you and good day. Good evening.